Do real-world Fisker Ocean reviews from owners actually already exist? Turns out, yes. And maybe? We'll look at that and all your questions right now. Is your delivery fee to your house or to some other local hub? What would mine be if I pick it up at the main hub near LA? I noticed you didn't include taxes. When or how do those get paid? Or do you live in a state without a sales tax? In my state, you pay taxes when you register. Picking up at a delivery hub is no charge. Right now for Sport, Ultra, and Extreme, you have to select home delivery in case there isn't an event or hub near you when they decide to make your delivery. I read in a Fisker document that the car number given to Ocean One limited edition buyers is not the production number. Correct. How are they going to move all these vehicles across North America and Europe? I think they will do them regionally. For example, if you live in Pennsylvania, New York, Delaware, New Jersey, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, there'll be one place for you to pick it up in Philadelphia during a pop-up event. It'll either be another dealership, maybe one of the service partners, or just a parking lot. And if I can avoid the delivery fee, I'll be completely satisfied with a parking lot. I signed up for home delivery, so maybe there's an incentive we don't know about to use a pop-up. In order to make that $750 payment, you have to sign up for home delivery because they don't know if you'll get a pop-up event if you live in, let's say, Morgantown, West Virginia, which is one of the illegal purchase states to start with. That's right, I won't be taking delivery of my Ocean in my state. It's illegal. Direct sales are not permitted. The advantage of a pop-up is if you have that option, you won't be charged the delivery fee. It'll be nice when we're hands-on. You're absolutely right about that. 2 questions for you. How do you know you'll still have to put $5,000 down? And is there a difference in fee if you do not do home delivery? I did a video on this already. It was the follow-up to my initial Fisker Ocean Sport configuration. The additional $5,000 is a down payment you would have to do if you decide to finance with them, but it is not mandatory, especially if you pay cash. There is no arbitrary additional amount due above the $1,000. Yours shows $276 fees and deduction. Mine shows 10 times that, $2,860. Mine does too. My destination and handling fee is $2,438. My title and registration is $267. My estimated tax is $2,508. And the reason why it still looks like I'm not paying all that is because it subtracted $5,000 from my total, assuming that's the down payment when I finance through Fisker Finance, which is Chase Bank. I hope that answers your question. I watched your video. It appears that your final confirmation does not include the winter package you selected when you paid. It says no packages and 2 accessories. Can you update us if this was a problem and how you resolved it? If you double check the video, it does say 2 options, one of which is a free cargo cover and the other is the winter package. It doesn't say I have any packages, so that's definitely confusing. But in this case, I am getting the winter package. I live in Canada and reserved an Ultra. I also received an email indicating I could convert my reservation. However, it only lets me select an Extreme. The first run of the Sport and Ultra for North America are likely sold out due to that Inflation Reduction Act action they took in August to get in under the transition rule. Does that mean I can sit on my reservation and wait for the Ultra? I'm sure you can. Good to see you got an email to confirm your order. I'm in the UK and reserved mine a few days before reservation date, but still no email to convert it to an order. This one answered itself. Within 2 hours of our commenter making this comment, they did get that email, so congrats. Out of curiosity, how did you find your reservation number? I did not. Nobody knows their reservation number. I didn't get a confirmation number when I confirmed my vehicle. That's all under My Fisker in the Fisker app, and it's the same one you got at the very beginning. No adaptive cruise control is a pretty big miss for a car of this class, price, and promise. I don't think people will be too happy living with the Ocean beyond the honeymoon phase if this is true. The first couple months, people won't care. After the magic and newness is gone, it's going to have people dropping the Ocean for other vehicles. Hopefully, Fisker can figure out the stuff the rest of the industry has had standard for quite some time now. No notes. Good job. Correct. Should I be nervous that I haven't gotten an email confirmation when I locked in my order? No. Your order confirmation is on your account in your Fisker app, and you can always check it out and reference it if you'd like to speak to Fisker about it. Does this mean the Ultra already comes with Intelligent Pilot if it's been removed from the optional package upgrades? This was 2 commenters. The commenter did a really good job. The Ultra has all the hardware, or probably most of it, that the Extreme has. The only thing you'll need for the Intelligent Pilot package is the software. You will have to pay for it, and it's 99% likely that the reason it was removed is because it won't be ready when deliveries start. So, when you receive your delivery, drive it around. If you want to do the upgrade, it's just an update away. I had selected the Intelligent Pilot and Performance packages only to now find the Performance package in my configuration. Nonetheless, I went ahead and paid the $750. Here's another commenter answering the same question. For what it's worth, I emailed Fisker a few weeks ago about adaptive cruise control on the Ultra, and they said it would be available eventually as an over-the-air update. So there you have it. I'm considering upgrading from Ultra to Extreme. What do you think? If you want the features, if you're planning on buying the Intelligent Pilot package and any other package, you might as well just upgrade. That's my opinion. You could go with a cheaper color, and at this point now, cheaper wheels because of the discounts available. Watch my Ocean Sport confirmation video for that. But yeah, the Extreme's a better value for sure. Hope that helps. Any update regarding state and federal credit? I don't really do state credits because they change so often, and I don't have the ability to keep up with all 50 states. To my knowledge, we have to receive the vehicle in 2023 to get the credit, but you estimate 2024. Did something change? Little worried that 2024 model year Oceans may not qualify for the tax credit. I have an Ultra ordered and am debating whether to add $750 to my non-refundable deposit. The language of the Inflation Reduction Act is a little tough to interpret, but it doesn't matter what year you receive the delivery as long as you made the contract within the transition rule terms. Here's the website. If you entered a written binding contract to buy a vehicle after December 31st, 2021 and before August 16th, 2022, but took delivery on or after August 16th, 2022, you may elect to claim the credit based on the prior rules. So, prior rules. That means no income cap, no manufacturing requirements, just an electric vehicle. To elect the credit under the prior rules, you must elect the credit on your 2022 tax return after you take delivery of the vehicle. There are the only requirements you have, as long as you've met the others. And this is probably the confusing part. Depending on the date the vehicle is delivered, you can claim the credit on your original, superseding, or amended 2022 tax return. Maybe it's this sentence that's confusing. If you purchased a vehicle between August 16th, 2022 and December 31st, 2022, but don't take delivery until 2023, well, you're under the new act because that's after it was signed. This has nothing to do with anybody who's eligible for a Fisker Ocean tax credit. It's a totally different group of people, and that's why they reference a totally different link with a totally different set of qualifying terms. So what does that mean? If you get the car during 2023, and let's say you filed an extension, you just complete your return, claim the credit, and move on. But some of us already filed our 2022 taxes, and we need to do an amendment. But nowhere in this document, nor anywhere online published by the IRS, or the US Treasury, or the Inflation Reduction Act, does anything based on the transition rules stipulate that you must take delivery in 2023. Once again, if you have a link, verbiage, evidence, publications, something from the Treasury, an amendment to the Inflation Reduction Act that shows the vehicle must be picked up in 2023, please share it with the community. Otherwise, you're good to go, no matter what year you get the car, as long as you did that $250 non-refundable conversion in August of 2022. I hope this helps. I also got another question about, can I claim 2 credits for the 2022 tax year if you get 2 Oceans? I had to go down a pretty deep rabbit hole to find the answer to this, but one every 3 years. So maybe you're married and you and your spouse can file separately? Probably the only way around it. So just to give more information for the Sport model in Canada, I had an email about enhanced delivery updates for Ocean 1 like everybody else, but didn't get the confirmation order. Within a day of that comment, I finally got my email to confirm my order. I was so happy. Congratulations. Which wheels are the best for all weather, including ice and snow, without getting the winter wheels that don't work well in the summer? I've had many questions about tires and wheels, and at the end of the day, folks, a 22-inch wheel is a celebration of opulence, not an optimal snow choice. A 22-inch wheel is not going to perform well in ice and snow. The sidewall is too small. The pressure required is too high. The owner's manual has a very good section on selecting tires. It also lists all the tires that come standard on the Ocean. Which tires are mud and snow rated? I'm glad you asked. The Blizzak LM005 is mud and snow rated. The Blizzak DMV04 is mud and snow rated. Those are for 20-inch wheels only. The 22s do not have any options. I know that because I went and looked. Here's some really common US websites for buying tires online. There is one result on Tire Rack. It is the Continental Conta Sport Contact 5. It's $1,890 and it is a summer tire. On Discount Tire Direct, there is exactly one result, the Continental Sport Contact 5, which is the same tire as Tire Rack. On to Bridgestone, the company that makes Fisker Ocean's factory tires. There is one result for sale. It is a summer tire. It is the Potenza Sport. So if you want mud and snow tires, currently at this time, nowhere on earth sells a 22-inch mud and snow tire to people in the United States. In another comment, the best tires for snow are snow tires. The best snow tires offer inlets for studs to perform on ice, but may also have restrictions in your area depending on the season. If you want confidence in the snow, you need studs. You will sacrifice road noise and suffer greatly when it comes to range and wear. But the best snow and ice tires sit in the garage until winter, and then you put them on. Most tires, even all-season tires, have more than one specialty. Some are made for snow. Some are for rain. Some are for range. Some are for a quiet ride. They'll all be labeled all season, but they have focuses. You can reduce the contact patch, which is the first number on the tire, to increase range, or increase the contact patch to prevent curb rash. My favorite tire, just in general, is a Michelin Cross Climate, but there are thousands of great tires from Continental or Dunlop or Nexen even makes some good tires. It's literally whatever you choose. Brand loyalty is a big deal. If you want an affordable tire, get an affordable tire. But then you get into tread depth. The best thing to do is use the tires that come with the Ocean, the Alenza Sport in a 255 50R20, that's the 20-inch wheel. The Alenza Sport in a 255 45R22. The Potenza Sport in the EU is a 255 50R20, a 255 45R22, and of course the Blizzaks that we mentioned earlier. I paid non-refundable $250 for the Sport last year. I received an email about the 750. Is there any way I can transfer my reservation to another person? The terms mention that the reservation is non-transferable. I would contact Fisker for any alternatives. It's weird because you and I both see highlighted in white confirm payment method. Why is that? I didn't get an email confirming anything like tap the info icon next to the upcoming task. What info button? So when you go to the app, it says confirm bill details and get started in orange. That's what you click if you've been invited to confirm your order. A lot of people are getting those emails now. Let me know if you didn't. When did you place your initial $250 deposit? January 20th, 2020. Mine was placed August 8th, 22. Might be another year, question mark. It depends on the configuration. If you were getting an Extreme, I doubt it's going to be that long. Another customer says they reserved an Ultra in July of 22 and they got their email today. No need to panic. Keep an eye on that email. Do you have any information about the lease? The only information is that there's no information. The combination of a slower production ramp combined with high demand means there's not really any reason for Fisker to lease right now. It would be much more expensive for them. Instead of just giving us the vehicles, they would need an entire dealership or service center infrastructure, or they'd have to hire third-party companies individually to come inspect your car and then tow it away. I don't see the lease coming until you know where all the service and experience centers are. Do you know when you will get your car? I do not. I talked about the double pull handle in the Easter eggs video. Apparently that is a BMW, Audi, and Volvo thing. Thanks for the info. How to access the windshield washer fluid reservoir. The washer fluid reservoir is located at the base of the windshield. Press to open the cover. Fill the reservoir until the fluid is visible just below the filler neck and close the cover, so just under the wipers. The update process for the Volvo XC and C40 Recharge and the Polestar 2 are similar to the update process listed for the Ocean, which means you have to exit the vehicle and lock it and make sure it's unplugged. So good to know. Have you been following Daniel Simonson? Yes. Thanks for all the research. You bring up a good point about not one good review by any owners since all the deliveries have taken place. I'm getting skeptical. I understand the concern. There is one review out there. There's one guy who's making reviews. I don't think he has a lot of experience making reviews, but he is making reviews. And you know me, you've come to the right place to find out about this review.
The digital rear mirror, I'm not just going to turn it back to the regular one. So you see the difference here. And now I'm just going to put on cruise control. It also registers the colors of the signals. The sound system in the Fisker Ocean 1, you can actually choose where are the speakers to play. I'm driving in the Earth Speed, which is the more comfortable one, so this is not the hyper one, but it's even the Earth one is really fast. Get ready here. I think the resolution of the car or of the display is really, really great. So a lot of you have asked me about the socket here in the back, and when you look at the European version here, it's AC 230 volts and can deliver a maximum output of 3000 watt. There we go. This car gets a lot of attention.
And that's his review. Fisker will, at a point, start production in the USA at Foxconn's Northeast Ohio plant, likely a parallel production line beside the Pear when they are ready. Likely 2 to 3 years from today, ? But I am starting to wonder if it will be better to wait. The Ocean may have updates, and may be cheaper than the Magna models. New trim levels could be available. What's your thoughts? I reserved a Fisker Ocean in January of 2020, and it is June of 2023. That's 3.5 years. And if you are willing to wait another 3.5 years, assuming everything goes perfectly for Foxconn, and Fisker decides, which they haven't confirmed doing, to move Ocean production to the US, not to save money, but simply so we can have a tax credit, then yes, by all means, wait it out. But if you want an Ocean, buy an Ocean. If you want a Pear, put the money down, get a Pear. My guess is, in 2026, someone will make a $20,000 EV. It will also have a tax credit. And if that's not true, then EV adoption has failed catastrophically. If you want my opinion, and this is strictly opinion, they will continue to build the Fisker Ocean until people stop buying it, and then they will stop manufacturing it. There is a non-zero chance that they move production to the United States, so we and they can have a tax credit. But remember, if they do that, they will also need to source a new battery supplier, because by 2026, that entire battery is going to have to be built, manufactured, and put together in the United States to continue to receive that tax credit. So the Ocean, if it moves to the United States, would be a completely different vehicle. It would be built in a different place with a different battery pack. If you want an EV, look at what's most important for you, look at the selection available, shop for the lowest price, and pull the trigger. Final thought, by the time the Fisker Pear comes out, you'll be able to get an Aptera for the same money. There will most certainly be a $25,000 Tesla at that point, and it will need to be the most compelling offering in the segment to succeed at all. And if we haven't learned by now, every feature on that Pear is going to be a $5,000 plus upgrade. Or it will be competitive in price, it will include all the options, and it'll have 100 miles of range. Fisker can't afford to do anything price competitive. They're too low volume. Rant over. I never got an email from Fisker, but I opened the app and it was time to place my order and pay them some money. I placed my reservation the end of May for an Extreme. Wonderful. Looks like the Extreme trim is moving right along then. And congrats on your Ocean. My biggest question is, what is the power and performance in hyper mode without boost mode? The number of horsepower is 468, and the 0 to 60 is around 4.2 based on what I've been able to find in my research. Help me out in the comments if you've got more information. Can I do a video on different Ocean performance levels? The Sport has 275 horsepower, the Ultra has 468, and that's also what the Extreme and the Ocean One have, unless you hit the boost button, which you can only do 500 times. If you want to know how much acceleration you need, go to a Tesla service center, test drive a Y and a Y Performance. You'll know if you need the boost at that point, because the Y Performance is like having the boost, and the long range Y is like not having the boost. I hope that helps. Does it have battery preconditioning or battery heating and cooling? Heat pump? Oh, and that Fisker update is basically the same note I got when I canceled my order 2 months ago. The Ocean has battery preconditioning on every model but the Sport, and there is a heat pump on every model but the Sport. Just for clarity, the rear sliding glass window can only be operated separately from the key fob ? Not a dedicated button control? The manual says there are 2 ways to move the power liftgate window, the switch in the overhead console, and the key fob. No auto up-down, both have to be held. Great question. As far as windows, the real restrictive set is the doggy windows that can only be opened with California mode. I hope this helps. I canceled my reservation about a week ago. Goodbye, Fisker Ocean. See you in the future when you are tried and tested. I'm sure you will see one on the road, and I totally understand your frustration. I'm so glad canceled my order months ago. You are not alone. If you canceled your order and you're watching this video, let me know down in the comments. It helps me get a feel for what the demand is actually like. and thanks in advance. Is it possible to get a link to download a PDF copy of the manual? It's in the description. Do base models have standard regular cruise? Yes, all Ocean models come with standard cruise control. When are they going to start Ocean Sport? End of 23, probably the best guess. Hope this helps. I just checked the website and it looks like Solar Orange was removed. I did not have that option for my Sport when I put the 750 through. So let me know if you have seen anything different. But yes, the Solar Orange looks to be gone. I have an Ultra on order. And while this is good news, it is disappointing to hear that for them to achieve this, they had to install a battery that's 40% larger than Model Y, which only resulted in 15% increase in range. I'm hoping by the time the Ultra is released, it's more efficient and lighter. I think everything's locked in. The ratings have been done. They can't change it, or they'd have to resubmit it for EPA testing. So you're getting a massive battery pack with best-in-class range. Hope that helps. I heard we won't be getting the Ocean Sport delivered until next year. So if we reserved the Ocean Sport last year and get delivery next year, will we still qualify for the credits? You have to file an amendment if you get your car in 24, and you can file an amendment up to 3 years after that tax year based on the IRS website. So 2026 or earlier, you're good to go. Is this a Fisker Ocean channel? For the most part, yes. Some things are general EV. I have a Tesla also. I compare the Ocean to other vehicles as well. So yes, definitely wish you and others could get a tester to review. The supplier of the HD radar tech has been Cricket's promoting their tech to be installed in the Ocean. If they aren't confident, how should I be? The radar is made by Magna, so the entire vehicle is put together by the same company that made the radar. And I don't know if Magna does a whole lot of advertising. The only ad I've ever seen for it is the 2-month sponsorship of Kyle Connor's out-of-spec channels, and I've never seen any other advertising from Magna, but they are in Austria, after all. And while I was looking for this compliance, I found an entire section of ADAS slides in the manual that may or may not have been there when I looked at it. Either way, I've got a whole video on that. When it's done, it'll be right here. Those are your questions. Let me know what I missed in the comments. Subscribe for more. We'll see ya on the next one.
Hey, smash the like button.
Thank you.